Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to unpack complex topics just for you. Today, we're jumping into a really interesting one. OEIS A000314. Now, this isn't just, a sequence of numbers. It's really a window into some quite unique mathematical structures, things called Hussemi trees and polygonal cacti sequences. If you're exploring the OEIS, maybe studying number theory, this should be a good one. We'll see how these sort of abstract graph ideas connect to the real world. So maybe the first thing is, to really get A000014, we need to understand its building block. What exactly is a cactus graph? I mean, the core idea seems, well, surprisingly simple, almost like beads on a string, where each bead is a cycle and they only touch at one point. Formally, it's a connected graph, right? Where any two simple cycles, loops that don't repeat nodes, basically share, at most, one vertex.
Exactly. And what's neat about that definition is how precise it is structurally. If you look at any cactus graph that isn't just trivial, every block, and you can think of a block as like a maximal piece you can't disconnect by removing just one node. Well, every block is either just a single edge or it's a complete cycle. It's this specific structure that gives them their power, even though it seems simple.
And that historical name, Hussemi trees, it sounds quite cool, actually. It links back to Cody Hussemi's early work, doesn't it? And then Harari and Uhlenbeck worked on it too. Was there ever any mix-up with that name?
That's a very good point, yes. Later on, the term Hussemi tree did become a bit ambiguous. Sometimes people used it more broadly for what we call block graphs. But for this sequence, OE000312, we are definitely talking about the original, meaning these specific cactus graphs we've been describing. So yeah, context is really key here in mathematics, helps us be sure we're all talking about the same structure.
Okay, so connecting these specific graphs back to our sequence, A000314. The OEIS description is the number of mixed Hussemi trees with n nodes, or labeled polygonal cacti with bridges. And just to give you a feel for it, the sequence starts 1, 1, 1, then 4, and then it really jumps up to 31. What makes these numbers and I guess these structures so important?
Well, if you think about where cacti fit in the bigger picture of graph theory, they're what we call outer-planar graphs.
Yeah.
That means you can actually draw them on a piece of paper without any edges crossing, and all the nodes can sit on the outer edge of the drawing. And another interesting thing, pseudo-trees. Those are graphs where each connected part has at most one cycle. They're also always cacti. But here's the really significant part, I think. By limiting graphs to this cactus structure, this elegant constraint, we actually sidestep a lot of computational difficulty. Many problems that are notoriously hard, NP-hard on general graphs suddenly become solvable efficiently in polynomial time when you restrict them to cacti. Their simplicity is their strength.
Wow, okay. So moving from just a definition to actual computational power, that's quite something. Are there tangible real-world uses for these cactus graphs beyond the theory?
Oh, absolutely. They've actually been quite useful in electrical engineering, for example. They can model electrical circuits, think about the interconnected parts inside things like operational amplifiers, and perhaps more recently, they've become important in comparative genomics. Researchers use them to model the complex relationships between different genomes, how they might have evolved or rearranged. It's quite fascinating how cycles and single connections can map to biology.
That's really interesting. And building on that, there's a special type, right? The triangular cacti, where every cycle is just, well, a triangle 3 nodes, like friendship graphs are an example, where you have a bunch of triangles all meeting at one central point, almost like a fan. What's special about those mathematically?
Yes, the triangular case leads us to a really famous still unsolved problem in mathematics, Rosa's conjecture. This conjecture is all about whether these triangular cacti have a property called gracefulness, or maybe near gracefulness. It refers to a particular way you can label the points and edges with numbers to create this unique, well-behaved pattern. It's a great example of how even seemingly simple structures can hold deep mathematical questions that are still being actively researched.
Right. So pulling this all together for you, our listener, whether you're deep into number theory or just curious, we've taken this deep dive into OEIS A000314, starting with Hussemi trees and cactus graphs. And we've seen how these maybe seemingly abstract ideas from graph theory aren't just mathematically interesting, but they actually have real practical applications from circuits to, well, genomes.
It really is remarkable, isn't it, how quite simple, elegant definitions in graph theory can lead to such complex insights, but also insights that are highly applicable across so many different fields. And perhaps the provocative thought to leave you with is this. How do these elegant structures keep yielding such rich results? And thinking about the vastness of the OEIS, what other hidden connections linking simple sequences to profound applications are still out there waiting for us to uncover?